Tap in. Hey, welcome. Listen, welcome to today's collective channeled message. My name is Cass Young Crown. I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker, and my goal is to speak love and life into you as you embrace your true power and walk in your divine purpose. Now, collective, listen, there's some heaviness here, collective. There's a heaviness here, and it's really starting to come out in a way where I am like really I'm feeling like there's going to be a little bit of aggravation going on. I feel like there's going to be a lot of tension building up with the collective. Okay, so let me just tell you right now, pre-pool, I'm feeling not just the tension, I'm feeling not just a conversation, but I'm also feeling like there is going to be a restructuring of of placement in your life as far as people are concerned. Okay, there might even be placement levels in your life as far as structures are concerned, as far as information is concerned, as far as what's important to you. I feel like there's just this major shift happening with hierarchy in your life. Ooh, I'm glad that word came through. Yes, it definitely is hierarchy. Before we go any deeper, hello, Travis. Hello, Paula. Hello, all of my members, my mods, and all of my subscribers, everyone new and the OGs, welcome. I'm glad you are here. Now, I also feel like there's this pickpocketer that's in your vicinity. There's like this, like who stole the cookie from the cookie jar ass energy right now. And I don't like it. And I don't feel like this is somebody who is necessarily, they're not really hiding it. It's just that you never noticed it before the way that it's coming through now. Tap in. And so it's like, as this hierarchy, as the things that you are prioritizing in your life, as it shifts, you're starting to see behaviors and identities that weren't really open before, or weren't really like front and center before. And now you're like, whoa, hold the F up. I see it now. And now you have to act. And collective, I'm telling you right now, the action that's happening in this breakthrough season, listen, you out there doing it for Little Saint. This is not the time to be playing with you. And this ain't the time to be playing with you, collective, okay? And I'm feeling, and the more I feel like this tension is building, the more you are sure about who you are. Hi, Turkey. The more sure you are about who you are, the more powerful you are in your voice, the more convicted you are. Tap in. And I just love this for you, collective. So yeah, there's a restructuring happening for the collective. There's going to be somebody exposed who is not really sneaky, but you're now noticing behaviors that is not becoming of somebody who is good to be in your circle, in your life, in your energy. And then we're gonna also talk about like how you can not just empower yourself, but make sure that you are feeling good about your decisions moving forward. Because one thing I know for certain, collective, is that when you have an awakening, knowing what you want is one thing, enacting what you want is another thing. So we're going to make sure we speak power into that before we roll out, collective. So let's see what's going on with the collective as far as, girl, what is moving? What is actually moving? Look, tower at the bottom, baby. What is actually moving for the collective? Oh, boom. Who is being who's being discontinued? That's what I wanted to say. And who is being restructured is what I want to say. And lovers, came up. Immediately upon arrival, lovers came up. And you know what, collective? This could be somebody close to you. This is not only my goodness. This is somebody close to you. This is somebody that you truly support, that you love, that you don't necessarily have a problem with, in the everyday. But there is some misalignment happening with this energy. Tap in with this person. It could be a movement of faith. It could be a movement of ideology. It could be a movement of education. It could be that this person is following wayward information on the internet. My goodness. This could be somebody who really just is just off their rocker when it comes to how the world works. And let's be very clear that just because you have a realization of how the world works does not mean you have to inherit everything that's going on in the world. Okay. And this person is really like not just doomsday scrolling on the interwebs, but doomsday scrolling in real life. Everything that this person is talking about is like in the times. Like the whole world fitting to fall apart because all of this is going on and all of that is going on. It's like this person cannot get a grip on the fact that there are things that can be controlled in their own lives. And more importantly, collective, this person is enacting all of that like heaviness, all of that like, oh my gosh, it's just nonstop fear mongering in your life, like all the time. And it's being pushed on you. And that is not something that you are embodying right now. That's why the Tower and the lovers came up. No, it's not necessarily about a romantic relationship falling apart. No, it's about a relationship that you have that is not flowing with where you are right now. And you've got to put a barrier up, collective. You got to put a barrier up. It's actually big time subtraction here. The number 16, then the number 6. So you're taking a whole balance beam away. So when I say this to somebody that you truly love, appreciate, that was a pillar in your life, at one point in time, the restructuring that has to take place, what is prioritized in your life is how you allow information to flow to you, collective. This is something that I spoke about when I said what you consume is what you create is what you give. And it seems like this person right here is consuming nothing but fear mongering 24/7. They're really not living their lives. They're really not taking care of themselves the way that they want to. Their focus is not on bettering themselves. It's just that they want to give you negativity all the time. Even if the negativity is not about their own lives, they are consuming negativity and therefore placing it on you. That's very sneaky. Didn't I say sneaky? That's a very sneaky way of negative energy placing itself on you. Now you walking around high anxiety. Now you walking around like, oh, it's dudes that you don't even know why you feel that way, collective. Oh my goodness. What else is going on in this Tower energy that we truly need to be prepared for? Sometimes, collective, when I start these messages, here it is. When I start these messages and I do pre-pulls, the way that it flows through me, sometimes the message comes to me faster than my mouth can move. And all I kept thinking was like, there's a restructuring happening. There's a movement happening. There's something like big happening with the collective, but it's not going to be big as if it's like a blow up. It's not going to be big as if you're going to be fighting somebody. Excuse me. It's not going to be big like that. It's going to be a shift in a way that is like, how can I put this? The shift is going to be more like a conversation of what you won't tolerate. Tap in. And when you have this conversation with this person, it's actually going to rock them to the core. Because to them, they think that they're informing you. To them, they think that everything is good. To them, they think that you are heeding the information and you're going to do something, with your life that's like, is going to be life-changing with this information. That's their perspective. But your perspective is like, hey, you know what? I recognize that things are happening in the world. I recognize that movement is going on, but just because I don't tap in every day does not mean I'm ignorant to what's going on. And I would rather feed my spiritual algorithm with intent rather than pure destruction all the time. Collective, tap in. That is a major difference, collective. That's a major difference. And like I keep saying, collective, something is coming in 2026. And I think, collective, I know for a fact, collective, you are about to rock somebody's Christmas socks with the way that intentions are going to be followed through in 2026. Right now, we are in the breakthrough season. Next month, we're going to be in the birthright season. So we're talking about reclaiming. We're talking about enacting. We're talking about realizing the true power that lives within. December is about blessings. So now that we are understanding what the trifecta is for the rest of this year for Q4, when we go into Q1, we've got to approach Q1 with the greatest of intentions and the greatest of follow through. Tap in. Woo-wee. I think I saw Miss Mona in here. I don't remember if I said hi. Hi, Miss Mona. Yeah. Continue on this tower energy. Yeah, look. A lot of I'm telling you, collective, you know what? I'm gonna say what? Look, the lovers came out again. Woo-wee. When I said they not gonna like what you got to say, when I say like it's gonna be a problem, the conversation must be had. I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is, collective. Tap in. First of all, looking at this shadow card with the 8 of Swords. You know what, y'all? This is very interesting, and this keeps coming up. This keeps coming up. Hi, Aisha. People do not like your relationship with God. Yo, the way that this keeps coming up, I saw this very beautiful thread this morning. Okay, you could take it how it resonates. I hope I still have it up. Please let me still have it up. Please let me still have it up. Okay. Yes. This, oh man, please let it come up. Please let it come up. Why do they do that? Oh my gosh, it was such a good thread. And I'm so mad that it's not coming up right now. Anyway, the thread was pretty much saying like being a Christian, take it how it resonates. Being a Christian to me is believing in God, is living a God-led life, a soul-led life, and understanding what your boundaries are. Yesterday, I did a great masterclass called Neutrality is Spiritual Warfare. Check it out if you're a member. But it pretty much said it's not like beautiful. It's actually gritty. There's a fine line between suffering and knowing that God has his hand on you. And I feel like understanding just how powerful that message is alone, regardless of how you are interpreting God for yourself today, I feel like a lot of people don't like the fact that you have that realization. I don't think people like the fact that you are comfortable in your relationship with God. And that makes them highly uncomfortable. So when I see, or when I'm feeling like there is a deconstructing, there's a decentering of somebody in your life, and you are reprioritizing how you receive information, to see that this person wants to remove themselves from a negative restraint because what they are consuming is negative. Therefore, there is a negative spirit that's sitting on them. They want to remove themselves from that shadow and they don't know how. It ain't your job to figure out how they're going to do that, girl. You got to just listen. You pray for them, you keep it moving, okay? But listen, baby, when I say they're going to get upset about it, when I say they're going to be ready to fight about it, when I say they're going to be like coming at you, like you the bad person, baby, this is something that is shifting. This is a dynamic, it's a friendship, a relationship, a lover, a homie, a friend, a family member. This is something that is big time shifting. And you know what? If you can feel it, collective, they can feel it. If you can feel it, they can feel it. And as I'm looking at this actually in reverse, it's almost like they probably tried to start something with you from the very beginning and you kind of brushed it off, not thinking that it was what it was, collective. Oh my gosh, looking at it in reverse is crazy. Thinking that it was what it was, collective. They thinking because they doing little jabs at you here and there. You know, when you in your own world, you know, you just be rolling. You rolling in your own mind and your own heart. And then when you start catching it, you like, whoa, wait a minute. Now it's some backhanded stuff happening in this conversation that this person want me to really address, and I'm gonna have to address it. And then right when you're about to address it, excuse me, y'all, there's like this moment of like clarity. There's this moment of peace. There's this moment of like, all right, I don't have to say nothing. And then boom, something comes up when you got to address it. Big tower moments. And when you address it, you're going to be throwing so many spiritual bombs on this person. You're going to be throwing so much information and understanding, and you're going to really deconstruct. My goodness, that word keeps coming up. You're going to deconstruct everything that has been put down in this relationship. Ooh-wee. You know what else came up for me? Structural soul decay. Ooh. Structural soul decay. Hi, Fernando. And what that means for me is that somebody's spirit is so at ease that instead of addressing what they got going on for themselves, they are trying to address their disconnect and their anger with you, collective. They're trying to find their fulfillment by putting you down, collective. Interesting. And I'm really feeling that what's hiding behind this Queen of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this person don't want you, or these people, or this relationship. You know, they feel the growth. Y'all know I was just talking to my sister about this. Hey, just a girl. I was talking to my sister about this. Like, yo, there are people who are scared. Not that they necessarily don't want to see your growth. I mean, some people do, some people don't. But at the end of the day, some people really just are scared that you're going to leave them. Some people just terrified you're going to leave them, collective. That your growth is what's the y'all, the message is coming so clearly. Let me take a deep breath. God, please guide this message clearly and calmly. Well, clearly, because sometimes I can't stay calm. Your growth is a threat. And you thinking that you're around people that's cheering you on the whole time. You thinking you around people that love you no matter what, that's unconditional, that ain't got a hating bone in their body. And they might not have a hating bone in their body. They might actually just have a hating ass spirit in their body. And the agitation that comes up. Hello? Hey, South Carolina. The agitation that comes up as you grow is not necessarily a mental thing for this person. It's a spiritual one. When I talk about spiritual warfare on this channel, y'all, I do my best to talk about it from a bigger aspect, right? And I also try to talk about it on a miniature, like a macro and a micro, right? And a lot of times the micro can easily come in because we're so focused on the big, but the micro, the smaller parts of spiritual warfare that can then spin out of control, they are able to sneak in because it's always through the spirit or a spirit attached to somebody that we know, or attached to somebody that we know that we should have been throwing up red flags for, and we don't end up doing it because we're giving the benefit of the doubt. Speaking of the benefit of the doubt, stop giving it. I'm sorry. I think y'all missed that. I said, speaking of the benefit of the doubt, stop giving it. Yes. Yes. The benefit of the doubt, which actually the doubt comes from you ignoring your intuition, ignoring the data set that's in front of you, giving the benefit of ignoring yourself is reserved for the elite few in your life. Tap in. I'm talking about the elite few in your life. I'm talking about their body of work is so solid that somebody got to come to you with the fingerprints, with the retinal scans, okay? They got to come to you with the FBI, the CIA. They got to come to you with the Mossad. They got to come to you with the documentation to prove to you that what they saying about this elite few in your life is what it is. But everybody else, let me tell you something. Discernment. Discernment is your friend. Discernment is key. And if you feel like there is somebody in your life that's working against you, oh my gosh, look, we got the magician and the sun in reverse. So on the front, you got somebody in your life that's working to stop your shine. Oh, baby. There's a bigger conversation that needs to be had. And you know what's even crazier with this shift collective? It's almost like, I feel like collective, you just stop sharing energy. You stop sharing information. It's like you literally just stop talking to these people, this person. It's just like you're just like, there's nothing else to be said. There's nothing else to talk about. I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't care about their thoughts. It's almost like it's like the spirit, the Holy Ghost told you, like, just stop. Just don't carry on anymore. Wow. The more I look at this Queen of Cups with this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it further like just gives me this feeling like the soul decay of somebody. That spirit is showing up for them. That hating ass spirit that's attached to them. Oh, baby. This is big. This is big. Collective. What I just say about the benefit of the doubt? I said stop giving it. I said stop giving the benefit of the doubt for people. Yeah, let me pull out my phone. No, because see, y'all think I'm really playing with y'all. I'm not playing. Hold on. Benefit definition. An advantage or profit gained from something. A payment or gift made by an employer, okay? The employer would be you, okay? That would be the exchange. The employer in this case would be you. The state or an insurance company. The insurance company would be you. And the beneficiary of your doubt would be the person that's receiving that benefit. Okay? Receive an advantage or profit. So the person that's profiting and receiving a benefit from your doubt is somebody who who is working or would be happily able to smile, taking away your shine, or at least gloating or feeling good that you're not making it, or somebody who is actively working to stop you from gaining. Baby. Yeah, benefit of the doubt coming up as wild. Set the chariot coming up. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like seeing the plot thicken right before your very eyes. You ever have a situation, or are you currently in a situation, collective, where you watching the situation go down like it's a movie, and you just waiting for the problem to come to your front door, collective, and you like, well, here it is. Let me deal with it. Like you see this effort getting off the train, coming to your house, getting out the car, coming to your house with the BS, and you like, all right, here it go. Like, I just feel like, look, and the Six of Arrows, I just feel like what they don't really recognize about you is that spiritually you've been new. You've been new what this was. So me coming in, just channeling a bit, just closing out this chapter of the message. Me saying that there's a deconstruction happening in a friendship, in a relationship. And I keep going to friendship because I feel like that's kind of where this is. But also, this could be some of y'all been in a romantic relationship for longer than some of y'all kids been alive, baby. Tap in. Woo. And now, oh my gosh, and looking at this Ace of Swords in between this lovers and this shadow brings on a whole new meaning. My God. Looking at this Eight of Swords, and let me show y'all what I'm seeing. Okay, let me show y'all what I'm looking at. So y'all like, Cash, what you talking about, girl? Nah, baby. This Eight of Swords trapped in between, wanting to break free from this lovers and this shadow, baby. This is more than a romantic relationship or a friendship. This is a spiritual tie that you're trying to break free from. Whoa. Which lends more credibility to this tower, which lends more credibility to the spiritual bombs you're about to drop, which lends more credibility to you not caring who. Let me stop showing that card because YouTube might be trying to catch that. Who it is. You just know that this is a relationship that used to be wrapped in love. Wow. Yeah, collective. When I said deconstruction, when I said intention, when I said somebody trying to stop your shine, this is friend, family, lover. This could be your own kids. This could be a relationship that you just kind of cool with. This could be this could be This could be a relationship with yourself. A lot of y'all, my God, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Thank you, Sarah. Now, wait just 1 minute, collective. A lot of y'all battling your shadow selves and you don't want to be honest about it. Oh, baby. A lot of you battling your shadow selves and don't want to be honest about it. Let me tell you something, baby. I'm deconstructing your mama, your daddy, and you too. Everybody can catch these spiritual hands today. Because let me tell you something. And you're a part of family too, Sarah. See how you just became part of family? Let me tell you something. When you are scared to face your shadow self, and your shadow self is the parts of you that hurt. It's the parts of you that have been scarred. It's the parts of you that you feel ashamed about. It's the parts of you that other people took control over, stomped on, silenced, and told you wasn't worth it. Your shadow self is the ugly part that you don't want to face in yourself. And some of y'all know that you are destined for more. Whoa, some of you know that you are destined for more. Yet, you keep sabotaging yourself because it's too painful to deal with. It's too painful to look at. It's too painful to cry over. You don't know when you're going to stop crying. Ooh-wee. You want to break free. You want to find a way. And every time you show yourself just a little bit of patience, that rawness that comes up, that PTSD that come up, that's telling you, whoa, you in a danger zone. That's telling you, whoa, you don't need to be here. This place hurts. Whoa, yeah, that 5-year-old, that 10-year-old, that 15-year-old, that energy is coming back. It's time to pull back. Every time you give yourself a little leeway to break free from your shadows, your brain is telling you, no, you can't do that. And you actually go into a battle with yourself. That breeds guilt. That breeds blame. And baby, it's really hard for you to move forward. You become the captain of your own ship of self-sabotage, baby. The first thing you have to do, Sarah, is a really good question. Sarah asks, how do you grow and integrate and transmutate? The first thing you have to do is admit that you've been running, baby. I know, it sounds so simple. It sounds so simple. Oh, all I got to do is just say, not just say it, but recognize that you have been running. You got to declare it. My name is, and I have been running from healing for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, however long it's been. I want you to remember that people are wearing 50-year deep scars, spiritual scars, emotional scars. And they walking around with it like it's a banner on their shoulder, like it's something to be proud of. No, baby, it's time to put some salve on those spiritual scars and heal. The second thing you have to do is you got to be willing to confront it. This is where, all right, y'all, cards off the table. This is actually where I suggest doing your best to find a community that supports trauma-informed healing, okay? This is where I tell you that I am a social worker, but I'm not your social worker. My goal is for everybody to heal in their own journey, no matter what. But the fact of the matter is that if you are dealing with trauma that hurts and it's been there for a long time, you've got to build a community that supports your healing journey. That starts with your pastor. That starts with a spiritual leader. That starts with a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a social worker, a licensed family therapist, okay? A licensed family and marriage therapist. Like, it starts with you intentionally feeding yourself, healing, deconstructing, bit by bit, and recognizing that this ain't gonna happen overnight. This may actually be a lifelong journey. Tap in. But I gotta start now. You gotta start somewhere. So, listen, and it hurts. When we're talking about those types of family structures, that is really hard to break from, but not impossible. Not impossible, but you got to build the structure around you to be able to do that. You're going to come here, you're going to hear me speak love and life into you. I want you to know that you matter. And I want you to know that you are worth the journey. I need you to understand you are worth taking the time to heal. Nobody is an expert in your life but you. The tools and the environment matter. Now, you may not always be able to get out of a household. You may not always be able to get out of an apartment or a city or a state, but you can slowly and methodically build your support team. Your support team can look like a free course online. Your support team can look like going to your state's behavioral and health website and looking at the resources on there. Your support team can look like going into your local hospital and looking on the bulletin board and seeing what they have for you. That's a free support group. Contacting your local here in the United States. I'm not sure where you're from, but here in the United States, we have 411 and 311 and 211, depending on what state you're in. You can pick up your phone, dial it, and it will connect you to your state or city's resource center. Tap in. You've got to build an environment that's going to support you, even when all of your pillars aren't safe to stand on. Tap in. Woo-wee. And that's just real. And I truly speak about, I really speak about building your support team here. I believe that community is probably one of the best ways to live your life in a healthy way. And so it absolutely. This is my OGs here, and if you're an OG, type in one in the chat. My OGs here know that I like the cars, but I could give a damn. When I see somebody coming up in here asking a very serious question about loving themselves and healing through trauma, I take that very seriously. I will never dismiss that. And if I cannot answer it, or if I feel like it might get too personal to answer, I'll tell you to email me, period. So the fact that I even saw that and I pivoted from an outside relationship to the relationship with yourself, that let me know that the energy is thick. Baby, I don't even wish you the best of luck. I know that you're going to have the best of luck. Because people that empower themselves and look for spaces that empower them as they walk a journey that is going to deconstruct their reality, deconstruct limiting beliefs, deconstruct the hurt, deconstruct the blame. Baby, that's a journey that is a strong journey, baby. It requires faith. It requires focus. And when you start, I want you to look at what your life looks like 1 week from that point, 2 weeks from that point, 1 month from that point. And then as you go along, start marking the calendar of how you've grown since you started your journey. Now, another part of that, okay? Another part of that, I see your message. Another part of that is when I say finding professional help. I know that there are trash behind therapists out here. I get it. And oftentimes we want to find therapists that look like us, that gone through what we've gone through. Listen. Science is science. The methodology is the methodology. The first thing I want you to do is find somebody that's going to show up for you. Because that's a therapist's job, is to show up for you and hold a container for you. And as they hold that container, that's when you start interviewing them. Yes. Yes. Interview the F out of your therapist. And it may take time. It may actually take time. But when I see something like my B-day coming up and I usually crash out, to be honest, I just want to have fun, but I usually feel like I go through portals. I don't know what your definition of fun is, and you don't even have to share it here. You don't. But the fact that I see crash out first and then that, I can come up with some, some ideas of what that may look like, baby. What if you did not celebrate your life like that? What if you put a new meaning to your celebration? What if you put a new meaning to your celebration? Well, let me tell you this, okay? That's a part. There are therapists, hold on. I forgot what they're called. There are therapists that actually deal exactly with that. Hold on. It's actually under religious trauma. There are religious trauma specialists. Y'all, I didn't even know. Miss Sarah, girl, you making me go there, baby, and I'm here for it. It actually falls under religious trauma specialist. But I want you to think of what that umbrella looks like, okay? Because we're talking about religious trauma. This usually comes from cults, right? And when we talk about people that have lived through cults and occults, we're talking about people that have been experimented on, that have been seriously lied to, that has a lot of childhood trauma and pain. So I'm not sure where you are, but the online community is amazing. Baby. Start doing your research. You won't have to turn into an investigative journalist, but take that as a part of your journey. Celebrate your life differently by starting the process to heal, baby. Okay? In a way that is meaningful. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, of course. And that goes for anybody. I'm not sure if somebody else needed that. I know somebody else needed to know. But I do know for a fact, just in my experience of being a social worker, that many people look for therapists that resemble them in a lot of ways. And what I'm saying is that great. Find a therapist that's going to open up a safe space for you and dig for their freaking resources. They have resources too. Absolutely. Tap in. I'm talking about Travis Big E on Big C. My goodness. God bless you, baby. God bless you. Type of 3 in the chat is okay if I take a sip of tea. It's almost done. So you got 2 conversations going on right now. Thank you. The 2 conversations you got going on right now is one with, and this actually goes into a recognition of the self. So you are singing, collective. You know for a fact, collective, that there is outside movement that is going to reflect inside movement. There's going to be a relationship that needs to be deconstructed or reprioritized in your life. And then there's a healing that needs to happen in yourself that needs to be deconstructed and reprioritized. And it could be the reason why the outside relationship is coming up. Girl T is teeny. The reason why the outside relationship is coming up is because you need room to prioritize yourself. Woo. Wow, seeing a friend's opinion, ain't that something? Seeing a friend's opinion, seeing you got this. Oh my gosh, baby. What? Seeing a friend's opinion and you got this. Woo, looking at passion at the end. Baby. Yeah. I'm telling you, collective, this is a big shift. This is a big shift. Rebirth. Oh my gosh, baby. What'd that say? Overall, the overall outcome. My good, y'all don't know if y'all can see that. It says overall outcome. My goodness. Baby, you got this. This is what needs to happen. Big rebirth, a friend's opinion. I feel like that's what's going to pop it off, is a friend's opinion. And you are going to, you know for a fact that it's got to be addressed. Address it. Address it. Address it calmly. Address it beautifully. And some things, remember, collective, some things don't even need to be dignified with the response. Let them believe what they're going to believe. They're going to believe to achieve away from you. A lot of you really about to go through a rebirth, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Woo. You listen, Travis, when you speak love into yourself and you say, baby, I got this, baby, I could do this. Okay, listen. When I used to, y'all, back in my military days, and I used to have to go for them long behind runs, that was only 1.5 miles, but shit, it was long enough. Okay, meanwhile, the Marines gotta run 97 miles, and I'm over here like, oh, mile and a half, but nevertheless, collective, okay? Baby, I had to say you got this so many times in myself, like, oh my gosh, I hope this next tree makes a mile and a half, knowing I just started 30 seconds ago, okay? Knowing that I'm in this for the long haul, knowing that I've got to regulate my breathing, knowing that I'm going to get tired, knowing that my legs are going to burn, knowing that I'm going to get out of breath, knowing that there's a hill and 0.5 miles that I got to get up, knowing I got to do push-ups after this, knowing I got to do sit-ups after this, knowing after this I still got to go home, take a shower, and go and work, baby. The whole time, Paul, why are you laughing at me? Okay. The whole time in my mind, I'm like, Cass, you got this, baby. Even doing my little shuffle run. Okay, y'all know the shuffle run? How many y'all know? The shuffle run is this, baby. Okay, this is the shuffle run. Okay. Okay, but you ain't going nowhere. You think you're moving, but you, whoo, girl, sit my ass down. Okay, I'm tired of doing that. That's the shuffle run. Okay. You ain't going nowhere, baby, but you think you're running in your mind, okay? I got the first shirt behind me talking about move your ass. All right, you got this. You got this. I'm going to tell you right now, whether you're in your shuffle, whether you're full on sprinting, whether you're on the sideline taking a drink of water because you need to reset, whether you say, you know what? Let me come back tomorrow. Let me regroup and come back tomorrow. Baby, you got this. It ain't going to be a soul on the face of this planet that could ever take away the work that you've done for yourself. And the more you pour into yourself, the more that you recognize that your healing journey is leading you to a bigger purpose. I'm telling you, listen, Pocahontas said it. Well, Vanessa Williams said it after Pocahontas said it. Whoever wrote the song is a damn genius. But she said, we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a loop that never ends. And that's how I feel about the collective. I keep telling y'all, all of this hard work that you do, it ain't going to waste. And I know it's easy to think that it's only you, but it's not. Collective. The reason why we call you a collective, the reason why we call each other into the collective is because we know that the mission is greater than what we have going on right here, right now. Period. It's all of us. It's all of us. It's the ones who believe that the purpose is both internal and external. I want to ask you this real quick, collective. If you have not liked this live stream, please do so. Please do so. Because the algorithm be really hating on me. Okay? 1 minute I'm like, yeah. Next minute it's like, Next minute it's like, yeah. Next minute it's like, So I'm really asking you guys to show this video some love. Before I give my final word and get up out of here, I want to ask you this as well. If this message did not resonate with you at all, that's okay. That's okay. Not every message is going to resonate with you, but it might resonate with your future self. So I want you to share this video. If you have to share it on Facebook, on Pinterest, or in an email to yourself, I want you to share it, okay? But most importantly, if it did not resonate, I want you to share it into a playlist that says messages for my future self. And when you find the space to take this message in again, I want you to come back and tell me, okay? Some housekeeping before I give my final word. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I know that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, Cass, I can't believe you're going to do it. And I'm going to do it. I am phasing out my memberships. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to keep the $2.99 membership. I'm going to keep feeding into it probably until the end of the year, and then I'm going to phase it out for just to be a supportive tier. The reason why, y'all, is because the way I see Cass Young going, the way I see the Crown Collective going, baby, I don't want to be tied to a membership. I don't. And it's just, there is an expectation of a membership. And then the other thing is that YouTube takes like 30% of y'all money. I don't like that. 30% is a lot. Google already has control of 100% of our lives. Taking 30% of our money is just like, no, absolutely not. Okay. So if there is a way that you would like to show love and sow a seed into Cass Young, I will have another way to do that. You can always do it through Cash App, but not right now. Okay. Right now, I love coming on here and speaking to you. If you want to give a super chat, I will never stop you from doing that. But at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, like the way that YouTube takes so much money is just absolutely wow. Okay. But I will continue to post into the membership until then. All right. So I just want to give you that housekeeping before I get up out of here. Yes, we are still in our breakthrough season, baby. And I feel like this was a complete breakthrough. I'm going to Travis, is it okay if I add this to the episode 7? Because I feel like this was a complete breakthrough. My goodness. A breakthrough of a relationship and a breakthrough of a relationship with yourself. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I really do. Before I go, let me just say this. The obligation that you have outside of your family that you have to take care of, right? Outside of the people that have shown up for you nonstop, your obligation is to your relationship with God. Your obligation is to your divine power and to your divine purpose. And that's not always going to be pretty. It actually gets kind of ugly, gets thick. Mm-hmm. But I see the beauty in that. I had a notification this morning that someone passed away young. Okay. And while we were not close, it still set a reminder that, man, life at any given time can be not just taken away. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Not just taken away at the inhale of lungs, but that we don't get to tell God, I'll do it tomorrow. We don't get to tell God, I'll pick it up next week. If there is something divinely placed on your heart to do it. If there is someone you've been meaning to call them. If there is something that is not aligned in your life, get it out of your life as safely and as healthy as you possibly can. We've got to create the vibration that thrives in self-empowerment, in love, and in truth. And whether you find a reminder here or it's the first time you've ever heard it, I love you. I want you to win. And I always want you to walk with your crown on. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next collective message. Again, my name is Cass Young, Crown. I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker, and my goal is to speak love and life into you and remind you that you are powerful and to walk in your divine purpose. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.